Explain, first of all, how the Iranian sanctions are different from what we perceive the Russian sanctions are.
Yeah, and the Iranian sanctions, and at least the relief that's been in place for the last few years, was a deal made to push out the ability for Iran to have a functioning nuclear weapon for sanctions relief focused on opening up the European market to dealing with Iran. This was the elimination of so-called secondary sanctions. So these sanctions were more broad sweeping. The Russian sanctions have been more targeted in certain aspects of the Russian economy, oil and gas, defense sectors.
The Iranian ones are not targeted.
The Iranian ones are more broadly focused on the government of Iran versus the Russian sanctions, which aren't focused on the sovereign at all. They're focused on individual entities and sectors.
Within this is, what do we do the day after this announcement? If we assume the president walks away from the Obama deal, what's it mean to a pro like you?
Well, so walks away, there's a lot of rhetoric.
Yeah, what does that mean?
That's exactly right. The deal is, it's not that simple to just walk away. The president can decide to not extend the waivers on May 12th. But that doesn't reimpose sanctions. So those are not the same issue. By walking away from the deal, it starts a very lengthy period of negotiation between the P5+1 to actually decide what the way forward is. So it's not an automatic reimposition of the secondary sanctions on European companies that wouldn't quickly force them out of the market. There's a variety of steps that would have to be taken. My prediction is that largely this is going to be focused on the most noise with minimal impact, and probably the path of least resistance that would garner the most support, at least in a bipartisan setting, is a focus on the ballistic missiles that Iran still have that have been outside of the scope of the Iran deal to begin with, which was focused on nuclear weapons.